Welcome back to another episode of So Glad We're Friends. I'm Maggie.
I'm Devin.
I'm Brittany.
Today we're going to be talking all about nostalgia. And this is kind of funny because like we were saying, we're like kind of in different generations. So I wonder what things will be nostalgic to us like differently.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Britt relates to more or who she relates to more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be
kind of
interesting. I feel like there has been, like, just in past episodes and stuff, like, there's been more things that, like, Devin and I have, but, like, maybe there's, like, other things that Maggie and I.
Okay, wait. So let's go over like our ages, I guess. I was born in 98. So I am a 90s baby technically still.
But you didn't live in the 90s.
I was born in 94.
I got 2 whole years down.
Yeah, but like Maggie was born in the 90s, but she didn't like live or experience the 90s, you know? I was born in 91.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
I was
born in
out here
94.
in these streets in the 90s. I was still very little, but
it is more like a traditional like 90s kid versus like I really only had 2 years of the 90s. I relate way more to like early 2000s things.
yeah.
But like also we were
like-
talking about I have siblings 8 and 11 years older than me, so like I was exposed to a lot of older TV and music and movies and everything that I think like people who were my age but were the oldest sibling didn't have exposure to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was exposed to a lot of 2000s kids things because I had young siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that too. But there's definitely, like, a different wave. One of my sisters was born in 97. And I feel like the stuff that she was into and the stuff that she did was still different than, like, what me and my sister, because my other sister was born in 95. So me and her were, like, a lot more similar in terms of the things
That's
that we
like
were into.
so close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were 60 months apart.
Wow. Busted.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so quick.
I think my mom technically, I think it's, like, kind of over 4 years she had all of us, but it's really, like, close to 3.
Wow.
Dang, that's
I don't know
crazy.
how she
I
did
wonder
it.
like the pros and cons of that because like it would suck to be pregnant for like so long, but then at the same time then you're done versus like, oh, I'm feeling like my normal self again, and then when you finally start feeling like your normal self, then you get pregnant again.
Yeah. That's so true.
But I feel like I'm going to have
I'd have to
that
ask
thing where once my baby is not a baby anymore, then I'm going to want another baby, you know, like kind of how it is with
Yeah.
puppies. Like, oh,
Like
now I want,
puppies,
like,
yeah.
I don't want 2 babies at one time because I already have a baby. I don't know.
That's true. I also think, like, obviously you had, like, a massive age gap between you and your siblings, Maggie, but, like, what is the age gap between you and your siblings, Devin?
My little brother is 8 years younger than me, and my little sister is 10 years younger than me.
It's like
Oh.
literally
What about
almost
your
the exact same.
What about your other sister?
Lexi is 3.5 years younger than me.
Is how a half a year?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're pretty spaced out too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's hard because we went through a lot of the bullshit at the same time. So it was like hell for like me and my sister in like high school. Like we just were like raging bitches, like
To each
in
other.
end of middle school, high school type of thing. Oh yeah. And my parents too. My middle sister was really mean to my parents. And I just can't imagine all of us.
That's interesting.
together.
But did you feel more bonded at the same time because it was like you were going through it together?
No, we
like,
hated each other in high school. Not like hated
is
each other.
so
just, like,
crazy
we
to
just-
me.
sibling way.
She would like take my shit and it was just like World War III every single time. Like I would get livid. Like, and they would take a fucking like t-shirt, like a school t-shirt, like not even anything like
Yeah,
cute,
uniform.
and I would lose my fucking mind. And then when we started having makeup and like stealing my makeup, I was like, this is not okay. I had my dad buy me a lock for my door. And, like my own set of keys for my door. Like a key lock, not like a like
opening
lock.
your keys.
Oh yeah. I would like, and then I would of course like
funny.
lose my keys or like lock them in my bedroom or
Oh
something.
my god, like Zoe 101. You just have it on your neck.
That like, yeah, it totally gives me like early 2000s vibes of like having a lock on your door with like some kind of It reminds me of those like
It is.
infomercials that was always on Nickelodeon of like selling toys, and you always wanted that toy from the commercial, and they were like the weirdest, craziest things. Like I
Oh
could just
yeah, they
imagine
were
like a
so
freaking
bizarre.
bank with like a passcode or some shit, like a safe.
Yeah. Oh, I used to have
Yeah.
one of those, a piggy
I used
bank,
to have
but
a
it was
safe
like an
too.
ATM and you could like type in the numbers. It was like a full
Yeah.
ATM that would talk to you, but it was like my piggy bank.
Oh my
That just
god.
reminded me
feel
that I
like-
used to have those beads on my door that would like
Yes,
hang
that's
Oh,
out.
on my
yeah.
list.
Loved that.
Honestly, like the room like style, the ways that we did our bedroom and like all those fun things were so good in the like late 90s, early 2000s. Like I had a disco
Did you have a
ball
room theme?
and like those beads. I've
Yeah.
definitely had a lot of room themes, but I just remember like the cool random like the lights or like the stars that you stick up on the ceiling. Like
Oh my god, I
Love the
those
love the
things
stars.
were
glow
so
stars.
cool. I was also very into
Yeah.
like I liked the hippie quote unquote thing.
Same.
Like I wanted like like the disco balls and the lava
The
lamps and
hippie
like
to
the
mid-century
shaggy
modern
rugs.
pipeline.
Yeah.
I was very obsessed with my shag rug. When I got it finally, it was like I just felt like a whole new person. I just felt
Like as a
so
kid or
official having
now?
like a shag rug. No, it's like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was Lizzie
And
McGuire
the
themed.
sheepskin rug too.
I never had a
I never
sheepskin
had one of
rug.
those.
From like IKEA. They were like I just felt very cool. I had it like next to my bed as I got out.
That's so cute. Did you guys
That
ever
is
have
very
one of those like
fancy.
nets that went over your bed like
Oh my god.
like a princess?
Yes.
Canopy
Like a
bed?
mosquito net.
I loved that. Yeah.
Yes, the
I had a
mosquito
purple
looking net.
one.
I
I
was
had
not
one of
supposed
those. I loved it. Mine was pink.
Me too. Oh my god. I had a friend like in elementary school who was like a spoil. She was spoiled like this. She wasn't really rich, but kind of. In her bed, she had a big canopy bed and like all pink princess everything, and she had all the Spice Girl Barbies and like everything that I ever wanted. Like her parents bought her everything,
Rich.
and I was so jealous. I wished that I had a
Yeah.
canopy bed so bad.
I know, I love the canopy beds.
Yeah, I didn't have like a full canopy bed. It was like the thing that you attach to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're
Down
talking
over
about.
your head.
It looks like a butterfly
like a-
catcher.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
literally,
circle.
mosquito net. Yeah, I
Yup.
didn't have a fancy
Yeah.
canopy bed.
Yeah, I had that.
The one thing I think about that, like, as I was growing older, like, probably when I was like 10 to 15, I was kind of like envious of, is I feel like the technology and the toys like advanced over time.
Mhm.
And so, like, our toys were like, they didn't talk, they didn't, interact with us. And then
Mhm.
as they got older, like, the toys my sister or like my sister's friends would play with, like my baby sister, I'd be like, oh my God, like, that's such a cooler baby than like the one where we would like make up
Yes.
voices and like all of that stuff for
Yeah.
them instead.
I remember
That was like
Have you
one of my
seen-
like
say that
things
a
of like,
lot.
it's not like one of my like things, it's not like an actual like thing, but it's just kind of like the concept. I feel like we used to play make believe stuff like all the time. Like we would make up so many like storylines for like
Mhm.
Barbies, and like we would set all the different components up, or like we would
Yes.
play like teacher or all of
Yep.
those things. And like we just played, we like had so much imagination when it came to like our games.
Uh-huh.
And I do miss that side of things.
Oh, me too.
That's very interesting because I like had technology.
So you didn't
You
play
what?
make believe?
Like when you were just saying that, I was trying to think of like how did I play in elementary school and stuff, like when friends were over, and it was really a lot of technology based, or like we'd journal and like write songs and then make music videos for the songs that we wrote, or like be playing music.
Oh my
Did you have like one
God.
of those dogs where you could plug in like your iPod to the dog and then the dog would like move and light up to the music beat?
I think so.
I know what you're talking about, but I didn't have one of those.
It was cool.
Oh
But,
my
like,
God,
all
so
of
you
those
guys, like,
things were very
never-
technology. Or we'd play on the computer, going on YouTube and looking up like song lyrics or like watching videos on YouTube. That was like that's what we would do.
That makes me
That's
really sad a little
crazy.
bit. Just a little.
I know. Like if we were playing Barbies, we would spend like an hour setting up like our
Oh, yeah.
Barbie like houses and
At least an
towns and
hour.
like using the entire house to be like, okay, this is the grocery store and this is school. Or like we would play
Yeah.
school and get TV trays and like set up desks in the office and like
Yes.
have like a little
We
chalkboard
would,
and we would like
half
fully
the
set
fun.
everything up. Yeah, was setting it up.
Half the fun was just like setting up and like setting the scene, like making
Yeah,
up,
and
like, okay,
imagining it.
you're gonna be like the annoying kid.
Yes.
And, like, I'm gonna be the bossy teacher. Like I'm gonna like wear my glasses and like we're gonna do math today and like
Yeah.
all this stuff. And like and half the time too, like depending on like whose house it was and like how long we spent setting it up, we'd only have like 30 minutes to actually play. Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't actually be able to act it out or like do anything.
Or you'd get
'cause
bored.
we spent like the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, but the fun part
But,
was like
it was creating it.
mm-hmm.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a time thing or not, because like I did do that. Like I loved Polly Pockets more than Barbies. Like I always had played with
Mhm.
Polly Pockets, and I had like dolls and Bratz dolls and stuff. But I did that more alone. So like I wonder if that's because it was before I was in elementary school and had friends, or like if it was just an activity that I did alone more than doing with friends. Like when my friends came over, we wouldn't do that. But like I'd play like doctor with my cousins, and like one of us would be the patient, and like I'd always just do that because I mostly just like wanted massages. I'd be like, play with my hair, let's play salon.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That is so funny. That was
Yeah,
so
I guess
fun.
like if I think about the technology, it wasn't until we were like older that we would like play video games more or like use the computer.
Did you
much.
do like makeup dances? Like I feel like that was my main thing. Is
I
like
did.
every time my friends would come over, we'd be like, new choreography. Like what are we learning today?
Once I was a little older,
That's so funny.
we made up dances.
And you actually were a dancer though, so like I feel like it was probably actually good.
Actually, I would play gymnastics with my like little brother and sister and stuff, and we'd like be their coaches. But then I didn't start dancing until I was like in 7th grade. So
do you feel like you like acted in a parenting way at all to your siblings, or were you more like on the same level? Because I feel like me and my siblings, we never really had like a friendship at that point. It was more like they would tell on me if I did something bad, or like it was them doing like I'd be like, let's watch Camp Rock, and then you guys have to memorize all the dances and songs in Camp Rock. Like we weren't playing like together.
yeah, it was definitely more of like I'm the babysitter, I'm the mom.
Yeah.
I feel like
type of
even though
thing.
I was not that much older, I was still trying to be in charge.
Makes sense.
It's my rules.
I also miss when like going on the computer, you had to like go into the office and like all sit around one
the
big
home
computer.
computer.
Like we weren't just sitting on our phones. We would all like actively be like, oh, let's get on AIM and like message people or like go play games or whatever. But it was like
that was the most fun.
A thing.
Did you guys have AIM, Maggie?
No, it started
we had like freaking
Facebook
Instagram
messaging. Yeah, like Facebook messaging in middle school was kind of like the thing, or Kick Messenger. We used that.
Oh,
AIM was so I was not allowed to have an AIM, but that was like when I was in middle school, we would go over to, different people's houses, and I would like it would make me feel so cool to be able to like be on their page and like chat for them or like with them, especially if there's like a boy that they liked.
Yeah,
like,
you're just waiting for the boy you like to sign on so you can like message them.
What a time to be alive.
Oh, seriously. Those AIM sounds are so nostalgic to me too.
I wish like I had more context of those, because like obviously because I like didn't have it myself, it's not like as ingrained, but like I just remember like the excitement of like being with my friends. And
wait, did you guys have MySpace?
I did not. I wasn't allowed to have a MySpace, but again, same thing with my friends. Like I would go over to my friend's house and like get on their MySpaces with them.
So was your like technology limited, or were your parents more like wary of social media, or like what?
Yeah, my parents were very wary of social media. I think I got my Facebook in like 8th grade, I think, and
same.
My parents got so mad at me. I can't remember if they took it away or if they just got really pissed off, but yeah.
For me, I knew about it before them. Like they couldn't be wary about it because I was the one discovering it, so they didn't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My parents are both like very.
It was weird too, because when Facebook came out, like my brother was in college, and it was originally like a college like
Yeah.
social media. So it was like made for him. So when my friend started getting it, it was like my siblings looked down on it of like, she can't be having that. Like it's a college thing and like late high school thing. So I
Interesting.
wasn't allowed.
Oh yeah.
But I think
That's
freshman year I made like a legit one. But people would make fake names or like to try to hide it
Yeah.
from their
Mhm.
parents.
I don't think I made a fake name. That's probably
They're
why.
like Brittany Brown. They just find you
Oh,
immediately.
there she is.
That's
I also remember email was a really big thing too. Like I loved emailing people and like emailing my friends, like emailing my grandparents and like aunts and uncles and stuff.
I don't remember like.
Did you guys have Webkins?
No.
What?
I mean, no.
Oh my god,
What was
Webkins
it?
was the best.
Oh, I did not get into Webkins, but
It was just the greatest experience ever. Like you literally go get a physical stuffed animal and then be able to put it online, and then it's like you get to
That
talk
is really
to
cool.
your friends after school and be chatting with them. And it was the same, like Club Penguin was the same. Like we'd be hanging out in the clubs, but like
that's my two younger sisters liked Webkins and Club Penguin.
That is
it was
cute.
so fun. Do you like mine for gems?
Do they still have that?
Mm-hmm.
Club Penguin or Webkins?
That's cute.
Both. I've played them both semi-recently because I wanted to see if they work.
That's really funny. I also loved like CD players and CDs.
Oh
like
my God,
making
yes.
CDs for like my friends or like
mixtapes.
Yes.
Burning
and
CDs.
Just like the different styles of like CD players. Like I used to have this massive, it was like huge. And I just felt, I got it for like, I forgot what birthday I got it for. Maybe it was like 10 or something, maybe like 7 or 8. I don't know. Anyways, I got this, like, it's huge. And it had like the speakers and then like the CD player and the tape player. It was just like,
that is so cool.
The best thing ever.
Did you have like hit clips or whatever where it was like music was on a certain thing and then you like put it in the machine and then it would be like you get Britney Spears or something and then you have a few songs that play when you put it in the
yeah,
little
like the
machine.
little disc or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like tiny.
Vaguely remember those. Yeah, it would be like a Britney Spears one or like.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
I thought like the OG iPod Shuffle too. The one where like there's no screen. It was just a white like long thing. You just like shuffle it.
I had that too. Did you guys get, I remember like one year for Christmas, me and my siblings got like, we each got one of those like individual DVD players for the car. And it was like so exciting.
Oh my
that
God,
we could
yes.
have, like our little DVD player.
When those first came out, they were so expensive, which is so funny to think about.
I don't even remember. Like, I wonder how much they were.
I feel like when they first came out, it was like $1,000.
Like, what? Down DVD.
Yeah, I loved
like 150
or like the TVs on the seats.
Oh yeah, we used to have like the little like a white big, and it was a big ass TV. Like the back side of it was like at least like a foot or something, you know. And we would put it like in between. It was like VHS only.
Yeah,
and like strap it into place.
What did you guys
strap
watch?
it into your car?
Were you more Nickelodeon?
Yeah. Before like cars were in TVs.
That's so funny.
Or TVs were in cars.
Yeah. I was definitely more Disney Channel, but I just remember loving Rugrats. Like I was obsessed with Rugrats, and that was on Nickelodeon, but I don't remember what else was on Nickelodeon.
I wasn't allowed to watch Rugrats anymore because I started acting like Angelica and my parents took it away.
My parents did not like how Angelica acted, so they didn't allow us to watch it at all.
Are you kidding?
I was also a PBS kid too.
I literally
loved Arthur.
Arthur.
For some reason, when I think about PBS, it gives me like this weird feeling. Like I don't remember where I watched it, but it's like giving me this like, I don't know.
Like
unsafe. It was always like the news channel too. Maybe that's why I got
Channel 8.
I don't remember.
It was our channel 8.
Mine was channel
PBS.
6.
I feel like maybe I watched it at
Arthur
like daycare or like at a babysitter's house or something like that, and that's why like
Reading Rainbow.
Yes.
Yep. And the comfy couch.
Oh my God, yes.
We talked about that because I did not know what that was. That was before me.
It's the clown girl
and
that does the
dust bunnies underneath the couch. Yep.
clock with her legs. And
Do you remember like the
shit.
dust bunnies? I'm like still like freaked out by dust bunnies, I think, because of the comfy couch.
Were they not cute on the comfy couch?
They were supposed to be cute, but they were still weird to me. Like I thought they were like kind of gross.
What was that show on PBS with like the lemur?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh,
Zumafoo?
Yes, the
Zoomafoo.
Boobafoo.
Zumafoo, yeah.
Boomafoo.
That's so funny.
In
What the
Clifford.
fuck?
Barney
Name
was
is
on
that?
PBS too, right?
Yeah,
Was Barney or Sesame
Oh.
Street on PBS?
both.
I was
think.
obsessed with Barney when I was little.
Yeah.
That's so
I was
crazy that
obsessed
like
with
Selena
Sesame
Gomez
Street
was
and
on
Big
it.
Bird.
That is crazy that Selena Gomez was on it and Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
I sometimes get the
love that
song stuck in
also
my head.
loved. Really?
Bear in the Big
like,
Blue
old-
House?
Like I Love You.
Yeah, or Oh,
What?
Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me.
I always sing that clean up, everybody
Yeah.
clean up.
Do you
That reminds me
share?
of daycare.
Yeah. On Disney Channel though, I was like obsessed with the Disney movies, like whatever
God,
it would come on
yes.
like Friday. Cause like
Oh,
it's so funny to think about now, like streaming like wasn't a thing. So like
I
it would
was
be
thinking
really
about this
disappointing if we,
recently.
like it'd be so disappointing if like on the because I think the movies were like on Fridays or something. Like
yeah,
Uh-huh.
maybe
and
I'm
the
making that up, but,
countdown.
like, it would be like
Uh-huh.
this huge thing, and I would be so psyched about it. And then like it would be the movie that I've like already seen. So like then you'd wait for like
Oh,
the next
dang.
week and like pray and like hope that it would be like a new movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I was just
remember,
recently
like, it
thinking
would say
about
it-
how like now we can watch any kind of content. We can consume anything we want in the moment at any time. But like
Yeah.
when we were younger, it was either what was on TV or like if you had a DVD of it, you couldn't just like be like, I want to binge watch Grey's Anatomy. Like, and now we're so spoiled to be able to like literally watch or read anything we want in any minute.
Yeah. Do you remember though, like what was it called where you could like stream? It was like the like almost the like OG of streaming. I'm trying to remember the website that we used, but we'd like stream basically Vampire Diaries illegally. Like it would be like you'd get like a ton of like pop-up ads.
I
you'd
used
have
to
to,
use
close down,
vaguely
like,
remember
Free
that.
TV.
Oh
Um,
yeah, me too.
What was it called? What was it?
I used to use Project Free TV, but it gave me a lot of viruses. Definitely ruined my
Yeah.
old computer.
There was another site that we like, or like the site was like always changing though, like because it would get shut down and whatever.
Yeah,
But like
you
it
have
was
to
how
X
you
out
could
of
like
every
watch,
ad.
yeah, like as quickly as possible. But it's like how we would watch like old TV or like TV that like had already passed from whatever.
That's so true.
And that's why recording. Remember, like recording shows was so big. Like people who had
Yes.
DVR.
Yeah. Well,
Was such a big
when
deal.
I was young, we literally, if we wanted to tape a show, we had to put like a VHS in and like
VHS.
schedule to like tape the show or
back
whatever.
in my day.
Yeah.
I had to rewind my VHSs before I turned it into Blockbuster.
Did you use VHS really, Maggie?
Yeah, barely. Like that was probably when I was like a toddler. Like I had like Pocahontas and Lion King and like little toddler movies on VHS mostly. But do you remember like on Disney Channel, it'd be like the countdown to the Friday. So like you'd be watching Hannah Montana or something
Yes.
on Wednesday, and at the bottom of the screen it'd be like on Friday, blah blah blah, and then it'd do like
Yeah.
a blue background and count down to it after the show is on.
Yeah.
And before High School
Yes.
Musical came out, my mom, she was like, this is gonna be so popular, like this is going to be a hit, this movie, and she was so right. Like it's so crazy. I think it is the Grease of our generation.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Also,
Totally.
what was the other thing I wanted to say too is like cameras and like video and stuff. Like the before digital cameras, like, and those were so fucking expensive. I just remember like it was such a big deal to have like a digital camera.
Mm-hmm.
But like waiting for your pictures to be developed and then like
Oh
being
my
able
God,
to go and get them and
yes.
like get them back.
And
Like,
half of them, like the head was cut off, or
think-
there was a finger in the picture. Like you couldn't
yeah.
see what you were taking with the disposable camera.
Yeah.
That's so crazy
Or
because
like
I
the
didn't
light
have
would
that
like
until
be
now.
wrong.
Like now
Oh,
I
I
use
love
my
that.
disposable cameras.
It was
just
so
so
fun
cool. And then,
turning
like,
in your camera and then getting the pictures back and
yeah.
like looking at all of them after like your trip or whatever you were using it for.
And we would like not even just have like like the, you know, Kodiak cameras or Kodak cameras,
yeah.
but like we'd actually like physical film that you would like put into the camera and then like take it out and then like give the film to the.
Yeah. I only ever
Did your
used
parents make
disposable
a lot of home
cameras.
movies?
We didn't. I don't think we had that many. I
I
think we
feel
had
like it
some.
seems like we did because like when you were going to video things back then, you would just take out the camcorder and like video for a solid 30 minutes, you know? And so you'd get like
Yeah.
a couple of days of your life on video. But like now we just take like a bunch of little 5-second videos every day. So it's like it feels different. It's like we always have
Yeah,
videos
like
of
I think I
Christmas and stuff,
probably
and they would
have
video.
the whole Christmas. Like we have ones of
Yeah.
like 3 hours and it's just the camera
Yeah.
sitting there while we're opening presents.
Yeah.
What did we think we were gonna do with that?
I love watching them.
I
I
want-
love watching my old home videos. Like I wish there was
Me
more.
too. It makes me feel so sad though, like that we're all getting older.
Yeah.
I just want to go back.
I think there was just like
But
a
does
lot
it make
more.
you think of how we'll have more video?
I think like just like recapping some of these things, like there was a lot more enjoying in the moment and being in the moment for us, like because
Mhm.
think about it, like we would like take a picture and then we would be done with it. We wouldn't spend like hours like reviewing it, analyzing it, like editing it or whatever. Like we would just take the picture and then keep enjoying the moment and then like wait for that moment and then wait for it to come back to us over time. And like I think there's a lot of different moments like that. And like even just the hype leading up to like a Disney Channel movie. Like you spend 5 days like excited about this and then you really get to enjoy the entire movie instead of just like, oh, like okay,
Being on
what's
your
the next
phone
movie we're gonna
while-
watch? Okay,
yeah.
like I hate this movie. Like let's go to something else.
All technology has become so solitary too. Cuz like back then it was like we're going to watch a movie or TV together, or even when we were on social media, we were around one computer like doing it all together.
Yeah.
And now everything is like on our solo phones and we like go watch TV by ourselves,
That's
watch a movie
why-
by ourselves.
That's why I love TikTok though, because I feel like if I had friends, like I feel like if you were in person with me, like we'd be making fun TikToks and dances and like doing the types of things that I did as a child with video.
Yeah, I
but
agree.
like
Mhm.
I don't know, I don't have friends to do that with you.
Same.
Yeah.
Wait, but did you guys not have like digital cameras? Because I think like my mom would have a digital camera and it was like a thing. I would keep freaking breaking them. I would drop a digital camera and it would break and I would feel so bad. And then I'd have to wait like 2 years and get a new one. And then I got my own digital camera. And then I remember I got a flip camera. Do you remember those? It was like long and rectangular and it was like for video. And
I didn't have that.
wish I had that footage.
I think I got digital cameras like at the end of middle school or like high school.
I think
Yeah, like
had
I was
one
in
middle
elementary school, like bringing my camera to the playground.
Yeah.
because I had some way to put all my photos on MySpace, so it was obviously like a digital camera that I could plug into my computer or something.
Did you use Photo Bucket or PicMonkey or any of those to edit your picture?
Photo Bucket, and I would make my photos like this big, tiny, so like you can't even see anything. For MySpace, it had to be small to like because you wanted to put it on your profile somewhere.
I would always do the color pop where it would make like you pick like one subject to be in color and then the rest of the pictures in black and white.
Oh my god, yes.
That's funny.
The editing styles.
I also
So
I was just thinking back. I like used Instagram as like a filter app only when I first started.
That's
using
so
it.
interesting.
Oh yeah. I would do
My
that a lot,
sister
like
still
put the
freaking
filter on
uses
the photo.
Instagram filters.
And then I would post it on Facebook. I would like
Yep.
download it and take it to Facebook.
Exactly.
And also uploading entire albums on Facebook. Like I would upload like
Yes.
one day. We'd take a photo shoot.
That was
and
the
then it'd
only
be,
point
like,
for
100
Facebook.
pictures.
Yes.
And then you'd have some absurd title of the album.
I was like really bummed when people stopped uploading their entire like trip of like thousands of photos, and people
Yeah.
started just posting like 5 from their trip. I remember this one girl, because like this one girl used to use like I remember like in high school, like she would always bring her digital camera out, and it would just be like, you know, the flash of the mirror or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she would like upload tons and tons of photos all the time. So I was like always looking forward to her Facebook albums. And then like one
Interesting.
summer, her and her friends went on a trip together, and then they only uploaded like 5 or 6 photos like from each day instead of like 30 or 40. And I was like,
What a
"Wow, like, I don't know
trendsetter.
what happened. Like
She's
what
too
was
cool.
this?" She was
That's
too cool.
so funny.
That's interesting because we're
Let me
like
see.
sharing more, but also less. Did you guys have an easy bake oven?
No.
Yes.
Sadly.
It was the best Christmas gift ever.
I loved my easy bake oven, but now looking back, like it makes literally no sense. Like it's a light bulb.
That is
Then you eat
weird.
it? Like, did it
Does it
not
actually
have
cook?
eggs? I guess that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I don't
That
remember.
is weird.
Everything you did was like just adding water to the mix.
Yeah. So I think it
That's
maybe
so
just like a
funny.
microwave kind of.
Yeah, it must have
I have
been.
no idea how that works. Did you have sea monkeys?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
You'd get them like in a little package and like put them in water, and there'd be like 100 sea monkeys in like a little container, and you couldn't even like really see anything because they'd be eggs at first, and then they'd hatch. And one time I had
they
like
real?
a container of them on my yeah, they're like little sea monkeys. I don't know, they're like fish.
Oh my
What?
god.
Look up sea monkeys. So it was like sitting on my desk, and it was full of like literally 100 of them, and my friend accidentally knocked it over, and all of them went all over my carpet in my room, and like I was bawling, and she felt so bad.
Oh my god. Ew. Ew. Those are disgusting.
Ew, that's like really gross.
Oh my god, I hope our listeners have had sea monkeys.
Did you
It
guys
was like
ever
such a thing.
do you remember the era of like trying to collect McDonald's toys? Did you guys ever do that?
I didn't
Like they
I
would
didn't even
have
know what
like
McDonald's was until like much later in my life.
oh my god, I remember like
Oh,
one
no.
time their toy was like a Beanie Baby, and I wanted to get like a certain specific Beanie Baby. Like there were little tiny Beanie Babies, and like so every time I would get a Happy Meal, I couldn't wait to see which Beanie Baby it was. Or they even had like these
Yeah.
like little, I think like Tamagotchi like Gigapet type of toys
Yeah.
that you could get from McDonald's, and they also had like Pokemon. Oh, in the little Pokemon ball. That was a
Yeah.
McDonald's toy.
I remember that.
And then you would open the ball, and
so
you
funny.
always wanted like Pikachu, but they never freaking gave you Pikachu.
I didn't get
That's so
any.
McDonald's
funny.
was so fun. Used to love
It was because you'd
McDonald's.
actually go inside, and then everyone would like play in the playset. I never really played in the playset because
Mhm.
I thought that was disgusting even as a child.
Really?
Yeah.
My nanny would take me, my sister, and my 2 cousins. Like we would have a sleepover at my nanny's house, which is my grandma. And
I was
she would
just
take
gonna
us to
say, for
McDonald's. We'd
listeners,
get
that is her
dinner
grandma.
and we'd play like for hours in the plaything. That was our
That's so fun.
night.
That was like Chuck E. Cheese. We like love like I went to so many birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese.
Mine was Peter Piper.
Same.
Playing in the jungle gyms and stuff. Is Chuck E. Cheese like
Oh.
and Peter Piper the same thing kind of?
Yeah, but Peter Piper's
Yeah.
better in my opinion.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
no animatronic type things.
Yeah. We had this place called Jungle Gyms by where I lived, and it had like a big huge jungle gym to play in, but also they had like rides inside this place. Like different spinny rides.
Wow.
It feels like a fever dream at this point in my life, but like we always took summer field trips there, or like I would have birthdays there. It was all an indoor like little amusement park thing.
That's
Wow.
cool.
Which is so, I wish I could like step foot in there right now again, and just like all the
Yeah.
memories would probably just like hit me.
Is it closed now?
I think so, yeah.
The fun thing though about like the Chuck E. Cheese, like we would just like run around for hours. Like it would just be so fun to like jump in a ball pit or like climb the jungle gyms and like just go through all of these mazes and stuff.
Yeah, again with your
That's so
like
interesting 'cause, like,
imagination too.
Yeah,
We'd like
as
make
you
up all
guys
sorts of games to do that.
as you're saying that, like, I didn't really do that as much. Like, we'd go over to my friend Madison's house. She was like my favorite house to go to because they were kind of rich and they lived in a country club. And it was like she had a little mini putt in the backyard and she had a trampoline and she just had the nicest house. So she had like a computer room where it was like one computer and the family would use it. And we'd like, she had a Mac and my family never had Macs. So it was like so exciting that she had an Apple computer. So we'd play with the photo booth, like take pictures all the time. We'd play on the Disney Channel website, like playing all the mini games. I loved the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody game where you have to run through the
Yes.
Loved that. And
Or
the
the
Lilo and Stitch game where you
yes,
catch the
sandwich one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Loved that.
I forgot about those. I forgot about computer games like that.
Like that's what I did was computer games. Like,
yes.
that would be something that we would do. Like I would do by myself though.
God,
So you never played house?
Not like with my girlfriends, really, no.
That is so funny.
That's so funny.
That's literally all we did.
Like,
do you want to come over and play house?
Listening to we were jumping on the trampoline in 3rd grade listening to Bedrock. We'd be like, I can make your bed rock. And we had no idea what we were saying.
Oh my god. Oh, speaking detour to music. Do you remember the Now albums?
Yes.
The CDs? Like
oh
Now
God,
5,
which
Now
one,
4,
what are they
Now 3.
on now?
I don't
Now
really remember
560.
that.
I'm going to look it up.
I don't remember those as much.
Really? Oh, my siblings, like that was definitely more, they're like they started with like Now 3. And then by the time I got it, it was probably like Now 13 or something. And then I was listening to more Kids Bop at that point. Because then Kids Bop started having numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Too. It would be like Kids Bop 1, Kids Bop 2.
I just looked up that Jungle Gym's place, like to look at pictures. And it's crazy. Like there's this one ride that I thought used to be like so scary. And it's literally, it looks like a little baby ride.
Is
that
it like
is
a
so
little, like,
insane to
car?
me? No, it's like this ride that just spins in a circle and it kind of goes up and down the whole circle and it goes really fast and then it stops and then it goes backwards really fast. And I used to be like so afraid of it. And then as I got older, I started going on it. But like, there's literally, it looks like
That's
a
so
3-year-old on the ride in the picture.
I just looked up
So
the Now CDs and it says Now That's What I Call Music 86 was released on May 5th, 2023.
Oh my god, that makes me so depressed.
I wonder
86?
what's on it.
What the fuck?
Also, who's still buying them?
For real. That makes me so sad. I feel like, which one was my favorite? Now 5? Now 4?
I think 5 was good. Like, I think 3, 4, or 5 was really good.
In Sync, It's Gonna Be Me. Destiny's Child, Jumpin'. Jessica Simpson, I Think I'm in Love with You.
Yeah, that's good.
Lucky by Britney Spears. I Want to Be With You by Mandy Moore.
Ooh. Is this now 5?
Yeah. 3 Doors Down, Kryptonite. Do you guys remember that song?
Yes. I'm literally going to play that as soon as we're done recording.
Oh my god, Now 6, Around the World, La 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 La, Stronger by Britney Spears, Love Don't Cost a Thing by Jennifer Lopez. Oh my god.
So good. Were you guys allowed to wear makeup in middle school or like when did you start wearing makeup?
My parents were latchkey.
Middle school.
I was a latchkey kid, so I could do whatever the fuck
mean?
I wanted. It means that
They weren't
your
home.
parents weren't home.
Wouldn't there be? I don't get it.
The term comes
Like,
from
you
like
have, like, a
you
garage
went
door
home.
What?
You would like just go home and like your parents wouldn't be home.
Yeah, and
when you
like
got
you
home
had to
from school.
use your key to get in the house or whatever. Yeah, I guess that's where the term came from. So yeah.
So you were wearing makeup immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think in 6th grade.
I think that a lot of my friends like everyone like slowly got into it together. So like people would start like wearing mascara. No, actually, a lot of people, we all started wearing eyeliner more and no
Before
mascara.
mascara.
Horrible look. Horrible.
Interesting.
I don't know why we just didn't start with mascara and no eyeliner. Yeah.
That's funny. You're like, we started with lip liner and then moved to lip gloss. Like it's like the opposite. I was allowed to wear clear mascara first. Me and my friends all got clear mascara, and that was like so.
That's really funny. But we would like one of like the nanny like babysitter type people that we would like have at our house. She would always do our makeup for like the bar and bat mitzvahs. So she like taught us how to do a lot of different makeup.
Cute.
That's so cool. Yeah, I just wore mascara basically in like 6th grade and 7th grade, and then I think 8th grade people started wearing foundation, and my mom always wore Bare Minerals at the time, I think. So like the first thing was like Bare Minerals powder, and then I started getting Urban Decay Naked palettes.
Yeah, I had the Tarte palettes for forever too.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
ahead of the game.
My mom always wore Dior, so we would like me and my sisters like literally like had Dior foundation like in high school. It's just like what? But now I'm like, wait, why did I ever go away from Dior? Because like Dior is so bomb with like their foundations and stuff.
Yeah, but things just kind of go out of style, and you feel like it's not cool anymore.
Yeah,
so you stop using it.
Well, really, I stopped wearing Dior makeup because I was like, there's fucking $20 cheaper foundation, and I was buying it myself. I was like,
what did you guys do? 40... Like, how did you learn how to do makeup and stuff? Because like right when I started really getting into like doing my eyeshadow and eyeliner and things like that, like that's when YouTube beauty gurus were like really starting, where there'd be tutorials all the time, and me and my friends would like watch beauty tutorials constantly. But like you didn't really have that.
My sister went to makeup counters and would like ask for tutorials, and then she would teach me.
That's smart.
That's really smart.
So smart. And she would get a ton of samples, so she would just go back like every few weeks and get a new sample of foundation or like new sample of this or that.
That's really smart, because like MAC was like the thing at the time.
Yeah,
like MAC was way bigger than Sephora.
Yeah. Their branding was very catchy and very like cool, you would want to wear MAC.
Yeah, and they did all those celebrity lipsticks and stuff back then too.
Oh yeah,
I remember Lady Gaga had like a color or a couple
like
of colorful
colors. Ones.
Yeah.
I remember though at like the makeup kiosk, they were so good at like their whole job is to sell you on stuff. So of course like they would like sell us a product, and then me and my sister would be like, hey mom, we need this. Like we need this. She said we need it. Like it's for this, this necessary. Like, okay, I guess so.
That's funny. Did you guys ever get tinsel in your hair?
I got feathers. That was like
feathers.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, feathers. Feathers were huge.
Dude, they fucking made a killing. It was like $15 or like $17 to get a fucking feather clipped into your head.
Oh my god, that just brought back so many memories.
Yeah.
Style was so cool back then. Like it was fun.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone looks so different too. Like I remember the one store that made people look the same was Justice. We like me and my middle sister, we didn't get any Justice clothes, but like my baby sister was obsessed with Justice.
I was a limited.
Okay, so for me, I didn't shop at Justice. Justice was after my time. I shopped at Limited too.
Same.
In that it was the same thing as Justice, but it was like before Justice.
Once it turned to Justice, there was like a difference.
I forgot.
Though.
Yeah, Limited 2.
Yeah.
I didn't get Limited 2 stuff either though.
I got both. And the Children's Place. I loved the Children's Place too. That was always like,
Yeah. That was like the annoying thing. My mom started dressing my baby sister so much cuter than like any of us did. So like we never got to go to those stores. Like we didn't go to Children's Place or like Limited 2 or Justice or anything. But she took like my baby sister there, and my baby sister got like all the cute stuff. And we just had like weird ass clothes. Like I don't, not like weird, really weird, but like
it's more
they
like
were
90s.
not put together outfits. We shopped at like Kohl's and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But
Maggie,
how do you
did you
guys
have
feel about
Mervyn's?
like the 2000? Yes. Oh my god.
what is that?
I forgot about
It was
Mervyn's.
this department store in Arizona, and I loved going
It's
there.
like
I would buy
Sears.
a lot of clothes there. Yeah, it's like Sears. They closed down though
Isn't Sears
a while
gone?
ago.
I think most of them are.
Is it? It
I
was
don't
kind of
know.
like JCPenney's too.
Yeah.
But how do you guys feel about like the 2000 style coming back? Because I feel like now when I go like look on RE or like all these places, it looks so similar to literally how Justice looked. Like all the same styles. Or like I saw a girl the other day on TikTok, she was like, I'm layering a tank top under my shirt. Like I really think this
Oh
is so cute. And I was
no.
like, oh my god.
The layering was horrific.
Would
But
it go
like it was
down
so much more
far?
fun to play with.
Oh, yeah.
Like there was
I
so
also
much more
loved,
you could.
I had this pair of jeans I got in London. They were like super, super low rise. Like I think, you know, like an inch or two. And then
Mhm.
they were like flared at the bottom jeans. And I just like felt like the coolest girl in the entire world. And you know, people would be like, "Where'd you get
That's
them?" I was like,
funny.
"London." Like, where'd I get them?
I feel like there was
Like,
so much more to play with then because there's a lot of layers and accessories in 2000s
Yeah.
things. Like I loved like the bags and like I'd have those like little like a little shawl thing that would only be this short
Yeah.
but would be like
Yes.
sleeves over my shirt. Or like
Mhm.
I
and it was
had
like crocheted.
yes, yeah,
Like,
crocheted.
yes, so
Or gauchos. Like I want gauchos now. That's
Wow.
basically what
Gauchos,
I'm
so
wearing.
good.
Like it's basically flared leggings.
Flared leggings. Those are yoga pants.
Like
That's
literally
what we
yoga
used to call them.
pants with the band on the top rolled over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, remember Victoria's Secret had like the color bands for the
Yeah.
yoga
with
pants?
the pink.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Or like they'd have like patterns like pink cheetah print or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
The
so fun.
other thing I used to be obsessed with was the earrings. Like I would have these like such like, now looking back I'm like, why? But I would like wear like it's just a sweatshirt and then like these like outrageous looking earrings like with like, I remember one pair in particular was like a pink plastic with like a silver hoop like in it, you know, type of
Dude,
vibe.
I literally went to Tilly's the other day. Me and Cameron were in there. They had so many earrings like that. Like all the like plastic, cool colors, different like little fruits or like all the 2000s types of earrings. I was like, I maybe need all of this. Like it's kind of fun that now we get to like dress how we did when we were 10 as an adult.
Yeah. Did you guys have the spiky like
Yes.
plastic spiky earrings?
I knew
like, Hot
immediately
Topic.
what
I don't
you
know
were
if I
talking
ever
about.
got them.
I didn't
but
have them.
I remember them.
It was like
I
scary
also went
to
through a
go
phase
into
where
Hot
I wore
Topic.
like sweatbands around my wrists.
You did?
Or like one
Around
on
your
one wrist at
wrist?
least. Yeah. Yeah.
Were you a basketball player?
No, it was like a skater thing,
Oh,
I
really?
guess.
Girl thing. In
Yeah.
high school, I remember the like tight bodycon like cotton skirts with like a tank top or like a
pencil
fancy
skirt.
top. Yeah, and they were like, it was my go-to outfit, and everyone would be like, "Why are you so dressed up?" I'm like, "I'm not dressing up. Like, this is just my style. Like, it was just my
Literally
thing."
same, Brittany. I said the exact same thing. I was like such a pick me girl. I was like, this is just my style. I just like dresses.
I just do this.
So funny. Did you guys have silly bands or was that after you?
I was too old for that.
Loved silly bands.
My little sister liked them. I never got them.
They were fun to collect. Or the I Heart
I'm
Boobies
trying
bracelets.
to like, think of anything else.
Do you remember the like Rocket Dog chunky like
Yes.
thong sandals? Black.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
And the
had
Rocket
them.
Dog shoes, right?
I just remember I had like the flip flops or whatever, but they were platform.
That was one pair of sandals that I had, and I've seen them come. I think Steve Madden makes a pair, is like the chunky black heel, and then like the just single strap.
Yeah,
Those
like a
are
thong
cool.
strap.
No, these ones I'm talking about is like it's just a black strap and then like a chunky like black shoe. They're like so in right now, I think.
Oh my God, Ed Hardy.
Yeah.
Do you remember when that shit was in style? Like the freaking obnoxious like rhinestones everywhere, and like the Miss Me jeans, and the crosses.
Yeah.
And then like we were like bleaching the top of our hair and like making the bottom black.
I never did
teasing
that,
our hair.
That's so you. I remember teasing
my God,
my
the
hair.
teasing. Oh
my God.
I used to dress up like Kesha.
Time. How would you dress up like Kesha?
I teased my hair a shit ton, and I put like that glitter thing that she used to do around her eye. I could probably find a picture.
To school.
Did you ever
this
go
is just
to
my style.
No, literally. This guy was fucking weird. Did you go to the Lisa Frank factory ever?
Where was that in Arizona? Oh
yeah, it's
no, but I loved
abandoned.
Lisa Frank.
It's like kind of freaky if you go to it because it's just like you can see the outside of the building and there's still like signs, but I've never actually gone inside of it.
Is it in Tucson?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I cannot like not pronounce in my head? Tucson is always Tucson in my head.
That's fair. That's how it looks.
I can't ever look at it and not say it in my head.
When I write it, I say it like that.
Same.
I think I probably still like, unless I'm like really thinking about it, I still say like Tucson if I'm like, wow.
That's funny.
Do you guys remember any TV shows that like were so creepy now that you think about it, or movies? But
I was scared of the
used to watch it all the time.
ones.
Oh my God, the Goosebumps.
We would like
if I had a sleepover, we'd go to Blockbuster and like rent one.
Yeah.
Is like our scary movie.
Oh my God. Like the nights where you'd go to Blockbuster and like get some popcorn and pick out a movie.
Yeah.
Incredible.
The best.
Or like if you're gonna be homesick, like I remember I was gonna get my teeth pulled, so like I knew I wasn't gonna be at school, so I got to go to Blockbuster and pick out like a bunch of movies. So fun.
That's so fun.
Me and Cameron went to the only one that's still open. It's in Eugene.
Oh, really?
Bend, yeah, Bend, Oregon.
That's
pretty cool. It smells the exact same. Like if you can picture right now the smell walking into it, like I can smell it right now just thinking about it, and it still smells the exact same.
Or when your mom would pull up so you could return your movies through the little slot, and you just like run
and you
like,
just jump out
your movie. Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
My dad was always so good at picking out movies, because you remember like when you would rent a movie and it was trash, and you would be like, this sucks, like how did I, like you would just be so disappointed.
Or like when a new one was coming out and you'd like have to make sure that you could get it before it was all sold out and all the
oh my God,
copies were rented.
That was so annoying when they were all sold out. They'd have like a whole wall of the new release and they'd all be gone.
Yeah. What's weird is like when Netflix started doing that, when you could get it delivered to your house, like I don't remember in my mind how long that was. Like that feels like a pretty short time frame of when we were ordering until it started being streaming.
Yeah, it wasn't convenient.
No.
Like, because when you want a movie, you want to go get it right now. Yeah.
You'd have to like plan for it. And since they were DVDs, like wasn't it sometimes like they wouldn't work properly, or
or like when Blu-ray came out and then like you couldn't use Blu-ray things on like normal
Blu-ray.
Yeah, like what the fuck is even Blu-ray? Is that even still a thing?
Yeah, that didn't last.
I don't have
I have no idea.
Player.
Me either.
Did you guys play Fun Brain at school, or like Cool Math, or like any of those educational games? I loved that.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Like you do spelling or math and like have to answer questions, or like there'd be typing and you'd have to like type as fast, but it would be like you have to hit the letters as they're falling from the sky and like type them before they hit the ground.
I feel like we
so.
probably did play games like that, but it's not like ringing a bell to me.
Well, did you have
Oh.
computer
Standing out.
class?
Yeah, we did. Do you remember Ask Jeeves?
Computer
Dev?
lab. Yeah.
Ask Jeeves.
What is
Before
that?
Google.
It was like
It was
Google
like-
before
yeah.
Google was like a thing.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, was Google not a thing?
I
Or
don't-
like it would be like
I
because
don't
people
think
would
it
use
was.
different things more. Because there was like Firefox
like
and Bing,
Yahoo.
and like people would use more of
Yeah.
a variety. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was founded in 1998. I don't know when it came out, but like we did not like I remember we like had to do like a book report or something.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were like researching, we used like Ask Jeeves. We didn't use
How interesting. Well, that's what
Maybe
I
you
always
could,
tell my
like,
mom,
filter
I have
on
no
it.
fucking idea. Like, how do you go to college with no computer? Like, she literally just had to use encyclopedias. It makes no sense to me.
I mean, I had to do that in elementary school, I think.
You were pulling out encyclopedias?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember going through the encyclopedias to like do research and stuff.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Like, I had
Yeah.
Wikipedia since I needed Wikipedia.
We like
And that is
Wikipedia was
AI.
not something you could use as like a credible source. Like
Oh, you
Mhm.
weren't like allowed to.
when did
Also, I
Wikipedia
think,
come
like,
out?
you had to have like sources from an encyclopedia. Like when we were doing research projects, it was
Yeah.
required to have like you could have like online, but you also had to have like a book.
Yeah, we
I
had
remember
book ones,
that.
too, but they weren't like encyclopedia. We had like
That's so funny.
textbooks.
Wikipedia came out in 2001.
Yeah, so I was 3.
That's so crazy.
So it was like already established.
That's really crazy. Or like I don't understand how people would drive places. Like I need my GPS
Oh my
if
God,
I'm
me
going
either.
10 minutes away. Like I genuinely don't get
MapQuest.
it.
I remember printing out the MapQuest
Mhm.
directions, like the step-by-step directions.
Before you
That
leave.
seems
But then like
dangerous.
even then, like even when you printed it out, you'd have to keep checking it. Like or
Yeah.
If you
what
made a
there
wrong
was
turn, you
something
were
that
fucked.
changed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think my parents got a GPS like system. Like
When
it was
we got my
separate
dad a
from the car.
TomTom.
It was like, yeah.
But like before you'd print out the directions when people just had a giant map.
Yeah, no way. That's crazy.
Like I would crash.
The first time I drove to LA by myself with my friends, we had to use a GPS in the car because our phones didn't have maps on it.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I
Whoa.
was 18.
That is crazy. My sister definitely did the same with the TomTom when she first went to California.
Well, I remember like you used to have like pay like a fuck ton of money too to get a GPS on like a rental car.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They would like upsell you on the GPSs.
Like I was just so made for this generation. Like I would not have survived. I would have been blind before contacts were invented. Like I could not function without technology. It just like it makes you think about how kids will be now. Like it's just so crazy to think of you're growing up with AI. Like how will that change things
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
improve things?
Well, that's kind of like what I think about is like I am so grateful that we like have the ability to like we've practiced thinking and being imaginative and creative.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's so nice to have something to assist you, but it's a muscle in your brain that you have to exercise all the time in
Mhm.
order for it to keep working. And like if we get out of practice with that, like we're fucked. We would like we'll never
Yeah.
be like able to do anything without a fucking computer or like a phone. And so I think like I just think about that sometimes because I'm just like, oh, it'd be so nice if they could just like write this for me. But like I also know that I need the practice in writing and I need the practice in doing this other stuff because that's how you get smarter and like better.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like I felt very more scared of AI or like, oh, how will that change things or will that take away jobs and like lead to people almost like I had a fear of like, oh, if this person's using AI to write all their captions, do I fall behind because I'm not utilizing that same technology or something that's available?
Yeah.
But on Armchair Expert, they had on like a medical person. I don't know if they're a doctor or something. I don't know if you know, Dev. But like they talked about AI in the medical world, and that was like so crazy to me because I don't think I even thought about that and how that can help. But like of ways where you can fully like see your DNA chemistry and then like find who you're most like relate to most in the world, and then be able to fully treat people in a computer where like
Yeah.
these little mistakes that humans make wouldn't happen as much. Like that is so cool.
Yeah.
And then like you're
I think there was something too, like, I don't know if this is like fact based or whatever, but I'm pretty sure like there's like AIs that are helping with like reading x-rays, because that's a big thing, is like obviously it's just up to the trained radiologist to find something on a scan. And I think that's a really practical application of it, to be able to like, oh, they can double check something or catch something that you might have missed.
Yeah. It's just odd. Because then too, when you're talking about creativity, and like that is so true of like playing in a world and like being imaginative and making up your own world and playing on your own. But then there's also like a new whole thing of creativity with AI, or like how people are using Photoshop AI. You could totally be creative and make all these new scenes and new worlds within the computer too.
Yeah, that's so true. I just think that there's like a balance that needs to be, and like people need to like embrace their own stuff, because it just like helps to, I think they're different, right? Like they're not like, being creative with AI is such a good point of like that's completely possible. But like, I don't know, coming up with these things in your head,
you need to exercise your own brain.
Is such a different way of thinking.
Yeah, I think I feel nostalgic for the way that we used to like connect and socialize. And like I think that's why we still love shows like Friends, because their like third space used to be like going to the coffee shop, and they weren't sitting on their phones. They had to like talk to each other. And now our third space is social media. Like that's where we go between work and home, is like we connect with people online. And I just miss like the vibe of like not having even I didn't even live in the Friends time, but
like it takes away from socialization, but then it adds to it in the way of like we would never be friends obviously if we didn't have the technology. So it's like you're socializing, you have way more access to people around the world and to new ideas, and to be able to socialize with people that you never would, but then like you lose the in person. Like it's kind of weird if you just think about like looking a bird's eye view right now of like us just talking on a computer of somebody I've never met in person, and we know so much about each other. Like that's so freaky.
One of the things I can't remember, I was just listening to a podcast and I was thinking like if I had kids, and because I think they were saying something about like, okay, like do you not get your kid a phone, or are they not allowed to have TikTok, because then they're gonna feel like ostracized because everyone knows what's going on these things. And I was kind of thinking this through, and I was like, if I have a kid, I think that I would like really teach them how to have boundaries with social media. Like, what do you feel comfortable posting? Like, what do you want to post? Don't like look at what someone else is posting and feel like you have to do the same thing, or like it's fucking cool that you do not spend 4 hours on TikTok. Like you can brag about the fact that like, no, I spend like an hour on TikTok a day. Like become cool in that regard, and having the boundaries set for yourself and teaching them and practicing that, versus like, no, you can't be on TikTok at all, because they're going to find a way, and they're going to like, you know, probably make even worse mistakes if there's
parenting with technology seems like the hardest thing ever. Like I genuinely have no idea how I will approach any of that.
It's frightening.
It is. I think you're right though, because kids will always sneak to do things no matter what, so you can't really
and like that's like what for Facebook, I forgot exactly. There was like things that my parents like were wanting me to be wary of, like don't just accept friend requests like from random people. And I'm like, they can't have those conversations with me if they don't know I have Facebook.
Mhm.
So I think it would have been better to give me Facebook and like go over some of those things. Like don't put
Yeah.
your birthday public. Like don't do this, this, and this. Like those sort of things.
But with things like
Totally.
TikTok, like with the algorithm, like that's scary to me of not know, like
Yeah.
you have no idea what your kid could see or what hole it
Yeah.
could spiral
Well,
into.
there is like parental controls with everything, so I think that does
Yeah.
help. But that's exactly why they should have that conversation with their kids, because then they can set up TikTok in a way that's going to be safe for them instead of
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of controls that like I'm just not even aware of that you can really.
But like
Yeah.
think about the fact that like, okay, you know, like the search function on TikTok, what if it's like some fucked up search and then like your kid goes and clicks on the fucked up search and then they're like
Yeah.
seeing all these videos and stuff that I don't know.
Or just
Yeah.
beliefs. Like there's a lot of like what if they're just being indoctrinated with all these like bad thoughts and then they don't want to tell their parents.
Yeah.
Scary. I'm not ready for that. I
Scary
think doctors
world out
literally
there.
say like screen time is not good for like under 4-year-olds. I think is like the actual like scientific research, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I very much see me like be like, okay, watch menstruational. I'm gonna go get ready. Like,
I know. Especially when your kid's like throwing a fit and you're trying to do something.
Oh yeah, that just reminded me of what I was gonna say. One thing I think like having the imagination and being alone, or like I don't know, basically not having to need
independent
technology,
play.
is that the independence and being able to like sit with yourself is becoming more and more like obsolete. Like, and even like now, like
I
even
can't
though
sit with
that's what I did when I
myself.
was growing up.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Like I
Exactly.
think we're all going to that place right now where like it's hard to just sit with ourselves and like be bored. But like
Mhm.
I remember we had this thing, like my mom had like quiet time and we would have to go to our rooms for like an hour and not have like phones or anything. It would just be like us in our rooms.
Or like
And
even
I
when
like just think
when you would watch like Disney Channel all day long in the summer and it would literally be reruns of episodes that you've seen 1,000 times, but like there was nothing else to do. Like you had to pay attention to it and watch the same Hannah Montana episode over and over again. Whereas now I get bored in a TV show that I haven't even seen before and I'm like looking at TikTok because my attention span like is too short.
But I think it like doesn't allow you to kind of like figure out how to self-soothe or like you know do all that stuff, because if you're giving your kid the iPad and stuff, like they can't just sit there. They don't learn how to do that.
Exactly.
And
Yeah, it's the
so-
same way that we deflect by picking up our phones, you know, like whenever
Yeah,
we're uncomfortable.
100%.
Just, yeah.
Parenting just seems so hard.
Yeah. But I guess it's not even truly parenting. It's like parenting ourselves too, like in this certain
Yeah.
circumstance. Like,
I
okay,
can't
like
even
how
parent
can we
myself.
I know. Like how can we limit our time more on our phones and like allow ourselves to be imaginative, creative without
Something I really want to start doing. I saw this study come out that was like if you spend just literally 10 minutes a day in silence, and that can be praying, journaling, meditating, whatever it might be. But if you just have that literally 10 minutes a day, like it drastically improves mental health and increases your lifespan. And like it just I just want to be able to do that because I literally don't, even for 10 minutes in one day, I don't ever just sit in silence.
10 minutes seems like a long ass time too.
It does. There's this girl that I love, and she's been doing 12 minutes of worship a day where she just goes into her car and plays like worship music for the 12 minutes and prays or manifests and thinks and does all that. And she said like it's been drastically helping her.
Yeah, I need to be more consistent about that. I try to do that sometimes, like when I'm really tired, but I can't turn my brain off. I'll just throw my phone, like I'll put my phone away and just sit on the couch like for 10 minutes to like rest my brain. Because even when I'm trying to rest, I'm still like on TikTok and that's not helping me actually rest.
Yeah, I agree.
I wonder
and I literally fall asleep
like
with the TV on, so like my brain is never.
Yeah.
Like I wonder if
that's like.
flip.
I like because
would
obviously
be
I grew up
cool.
going to church and stuff. I wonder if like I had a better time of like sitting by myself or like being alone by myself, because obviously in like a lot of like churches, like there's a lot of time to pray, there's a lot of time to reflect and meditate, and like that was like all part of the practice
Yeah,
when I was growing up.
that's very true. I didn't think about
But also, I
that.
feel like when you're being forced to do that, it's like you kind of hate it. Like, oh, I don't want to do that.
I was like into it though during the time.
Oh,
Like I remember like I didn't resent it or anything when I was doing it.
Hmm.
I like embraced it all.
that's good.
Versus I'm sure if there was a kid that was like forced to do it, they'd be like, fuck this.
Yeah, you just resent it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for reminiscing with us about this time in our life. Go comment. Well, first of all, go join our Facebook community, and we'll leave a little question to talk about all of your favorite nostalgic things from the 90s and 2000s.
Also, you can comment on the Spotify episode, which would be fun to start
Yes.
doing too. Like, leave your review of the actual episode, or like leave a comment. A lot of you guys say like you wanted to say, like, join in the conversation. Like, you can now by leaving a little comment in the video or
Yeah. I like how Spotify's like more interactive than Apple, I feel like.
Yeah, there's a
I don't know.
Q&A
I think they're
and you
trying
can
to cater to
reply.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go answer that Q&A, join our Facebook community, subscribe to us on YouTube, give us a review, and rate us wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.